Alright, hello and welcome. My name is Phil and I'm the latter half of Tim and Phil Talk About Games. Today I'm going to be reviewing the pre-alpha of Deadrock Divide by Bootsnake Games. Now I do have a little bit of a cold at the moment, so I hope that you can understand me clearly, but it's raining outside, there's not very much to do, so I thought I'd get this review out. I did get full permission from the Bootsnake gang to review this one, and I don't ordinarily like to review alpha versions of games, let alone pre-alpha versions. However, I'm making an exception for this one because A, it's more like a demo than an alpha since it's in a pretty playable state, with no really major bugs, and B, it's really fun. So, Deadrock Divide aims to be an open universe turn based RPG. What this means is that you'll spend half the game traveling between locations such as space stations or asteroid mines and rendezvous points, in a top down map with your spaceship, and the other half will be spent battling against enemy forces in a turn based RPG, very much like the XCOM series. And it's those turn based battles that I want to take a quick dip into before I talk about the open world bits, which I think are the main strength of this game. So, as I said, the combat will be very familiar to gamers that have played and enjoyed the XCOM series. You take turns with the AI to move your mercenaries around, using a cover system to grant better evasion and trying to get into strategically more dominant positions in order to rain bullet death on space pirates, lawbreakers, or the odd occasional peaceful merchant whose ship you're trying to rob. Each shot you take has a percentage chance to hit that is associated with it, which can, of course, be improved as you level up or when you use skills. But even if you whiff the shot, the environments are destructible, and so you may end up destroying the bit of cover your wily opponent was hiding behind, and give your teammate an opportunity at a clearer shot. Ammunition is limited, so you need to plan ahead to make sure your gun doesn't go click click at an inappropriate time. There are classes, including a medic who can heal players and an engineer who can erect turrets. I would have liked a few more options in combat, as at the moment it's just shoot, throw a grenade, engage Overwatch mode, which means you shoot the player if they move near you, or using the class specific abilities of heal and turrets. I think that might just be a limitation of the pre-alpha state of the game though. Altogether, it's a solid tactical experience and one that I'm sure will serve the game more than ably. Now, onto the open world bits. Ever since I was a wee lad, I've been chasing a replacement for a game called Escape Velocity. It was released for the Apple Macintosh way back in 1996. That's probably older than some of the people that are viewing this video. And it featured the ability to fight space pirates, explore the universe, trade with space stations, and gradually upgrade your ship until it was the most badass piece of metal in the galaxy. In just its first area, Deadrock Divide scratched that itch down to the bone. The first thing the developers suggest you do after dispatching the tutorial pirates is to head over to the local space station. Once there, you can upgrade your ship, sell your plundered goods, grab a quest from the local station manager, and so on. Actually, the placeholder text for the station manager and your responses made me grin quite a bit. I hope they retain a little bit of that self-referential humor in the final game, maybe in the form of a particularly eccentric professorial character. That'd be really cool, because I think in a game like this, a bit of levity could really go quite far. From there, it's basically up to you. You can become a pirate yourself, mine asteroids for materials and income, level up your characters, upgrade your ship for better cargo space or engines or guns, and so on and so forth. I think the open world sections of the game will really make it or break it. XCOM felt very limited between battles as to what you could and couldn't do, and opening that up for players to explore the universe at their pace and as they see fit could make this a really fun adventure, something to pop into, spend an hour or so, like kind of running around your different asteroids, picking up the materials, and then, making maybe a raid on a space station or something, and then popping back out. Or spending like 10 hours doing exactly the same thing, but over a longer period of time and more intensely. If there was one thing I'd want the developers to do, it would probably be to just try and ensure that the player is both enabled and isn't penalized for any particular mode of play. Put more basically, if I want to be a pirate, let me be a pirate. If they can get around that and maybe expand the combat options a little bit so that players don't come to dread engagements as something that's kind of bland and repetitive, I think this game has a lot of promise. Now, to round out, I did want to say that in somewhat sad news, the Bootsnake guys did recently do a Kickstarter, which I contributed to, which unfortunately did not get funded. They sent out an email yesterday that said that they're going to look into other avenues of independent funding, but if you're excited about this game, please, it would be great if you could follow them on Facebook at facebook.com/bootsnakegames or on Twitter at bootsnakegames to get updates and know when and where to throw your money at them. Because it would be a damn shame if a game as promising as this one didn't get the funding for a full release. Anyway, that'll do it for me. As always, you can find our podcast at timandphil.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/timandphil. And maybe check out a couple of our other episodes here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. See you next time.